Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got more information coming out from Israel that I want to share with you. I want to bring you some more updates as it looks like Israel is going to launch some sort of an offensive against Hezbollah very soon in southern Lebanon. So we've been talking about this over the last couple of days. I reported to you yesterday that Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, was ordering the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, to prepare for a change in the situation in the north. That most likely means some sort of offensive on Hezbollah and something different than what we've been seeing over the last how many months now, probably 6 months or longer. We've been seeing tit for tat strikes back and forth between Israel and Hezbollah for a long time now, and it looks like the situation is going to change. And Benjamin Netanyahu also came out saying that he wants to bring his citizens back to the north side of Israel, and they can't do that without pushing Hezbollah back further beyond the Litani River inside of Lebanon. So I've got some information coming out. We're going to talk about Benny Gantz, the chairman of National Unity Party and a member of the Knesset. Also, we're going to talk about Nissim Vaturi. He's also a member of the Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee. Him coming out today and saying that it's a matter of days before a full-on war erupts between Israel and Lebanon. We'll go over that story. Also, what you see here on the screen is Michael Correa, the U.S. CENTCOM commander, meeting with Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi, one of the commanders of Israel's defense forces also. So they were meeting just in the last 24 hours to discuss the situation on the north side and this preparation for a potential offensive against Hezbollah. So let's go ahead and get right into the news. I've got several things we're going to be showing you here today. We've got some mainstream news and also some several things going on X. And we'll also talk about the IDF striking a Syrian weapons facility just last night as well. So let's talk about this from the Jerusalem Post. We'll start with Benny Gantz. Benny Gantz in D.C., time for action in the north has come. We need to make a deal to return the hostages, even if it comes at a very painful price. So this was something he mentioned in the last 24 hours. And it says here, Benny Gantz, chairman of the National Unity Party and a member of Knesset, declared at the Meade Conference in Washington that Israel must prepare for war in the north if a deal to free hostages is not reached soon. The time for action in the north has come. If we do not reach a deal for the hostages within days or a few weeks, we will have to go to war in the north, Gantz said, adding that Israel's security policy post-October 7th cannot return to what it was previously. Okay, so what's been happening inside Israel is they've been under attack by Hezbollah nearly almost every day. I haven't reported this so much recently because it's literally a daily occurrence over here. We have rockets and drones flying into Israel. I also have a report to go over today. We had a apartment building inside of Naharia. It's a town on the coast of Israel, close to the border of Lebanon, come in under attack by a drone. A drone struck an apartment building, so I will show you guys that. So yeah, Israel's been under attack quite a bit throughout the duration of this war in Gaza. And the attacks are not stopping, okay? They happen literally almost every day. And at some point, Israel's going to have to go to war with Hezbollah. And I've been saying that for months now, that eventually it's going to happen. And it looks like we are going to see some sort of offensive come from the Israelis soon. So I will cite this down below. Every mainstream news article I go over, I usually cite them down in the description for you in the video. So if you want to read some more of this later, you're more than welcome to. So now I want to talk about this residential building that was struck in Naharia. So we were just discussing this right now. So this is from War Monitor on X. Iron Dome malfunctioned in Naharia and struck a residential building. So this is something when it comes to drones, okay? Israel's attacked by drones, and also they were attacked by rockets, generally, missiles or rockets, right? What we typically see is most of the rockets that come into Israel get shot down by the Iron Dome system, but many of these drones do not, okay? The drones are probably in some cases more dangerous because they evade the Iron Dome system and they don't get shot down many times, and we consistently see this in Israel. But if you notice, this isn't just in Israel where this happens. It also happens in the war between Russia and Ukraine. Typically, like Ukraine, when Ukraine launches all these attacks onto Russia, a lot of these drones don't even get shot down, okay? And we're seeing the same exact thing inside of Israel, but Israel has different air defenses. They have the Iron Dome, which supposedly is a lot better, but it still does not take down these drones. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this video real quick. and we'll talk about it after.
Why?
Okay, we'll go ahead and stop it there and talk about this. So as you can see, a drone clearly struck this building. Some videos online were showing the drone actually striking, but this video shows the aftermath, and we can definitely see whenever this camera pans back up, there's the drone actually down there from when it fell. So this was probably soon after the strike happened, and clearly struck this building. Doesn't seem to do any major damage, but the last time we saw something like this happen that it reminds me of was whenever Israel came under attack by a drone launched from the Houthi rebels in Yemen. And then soon after that, 24 hours later, Israel went and bombed the port of Hodeidah in Yemen. Okay, so definitely, you know, we continue to see these attacks happening, and now we have this apartment building being struck by a drone inside of Israel. So, you know, this is just indicative that we're definitely going to see some sort of offensive coming from Israel at some point. Like I said, they're under attack almost every day by rockets and drones, and many of them make it into their country, striking IDF military bases. And now we have this apartment building. We've had homes destroyed, wildfires all over their country. I mean, they have been under massive attack compared to like Hamas. You know, they have just been attacked so much almost every day, like I said. So now we're going to go over this report. This is from Herzi Halevi on the Times of Israel. Following Hezbollah drone attack, Halevi says IDF ready for any mission in the north. Okay, this just came out today. This is Herzi Halevi, the commander of Israel's defense forces, and it says right here, IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi wrapped up an assessment on the northern front a short while ago while with the military's top brass. Remarks provided by the IDF, Halevi says that Hezbollah's drone attack on a residential building in Nahariya is a serious incident. The IDF operates strongly in the north and is at high level of readiness with prepared operational plans, ready for any mission that will be required, he adds. Okay, so they are ready to go, guys. I'm telling you, this offensive on Hezbollah could be launched at any moment. I think most likely what we will see happen is a major preemptive strike onto Hezbollah, followed up by a potential ground operation. We already know that Israel has been sending lots of troops to the northern side, transferring a lot of their tanks. We've seen video footage over the last few months of them preparing for this major offensive against Hezbollah. And I've been telling all of you too that most likely what will happen is we will see other groups getting involved, probably in Iraq and Syria, other Iranian-backed militia groups, and also potentially Iran has come out and said they would defend Hezbollah. And then we're also waiting from a major response coming from the Yemen Houthis, as well as they're upset with their port of Hodeidah being bombed, okay? So now we're going to switch gears just for a minute, and I'm going to show you also some of the issues been happening inside of Israel. Israel's also operating throughout the West Bank right now. They've kind of pulled some of their troops away from Gaza and have deployed lots of their troops to the West Bank because they said that Hamas is there. But also Benjamin Netanyahu recently came out and said they eliminated Hamas there. I even saw a video just coming out today as well showing lots of Hamas members walking throughout the streets of the West Bank. So clearly what it looks like is Hamas is not eliminated. But what we have here from open source intel says update, terrorists arrested on Highway 6. Shin Bet intercepted a phone call, realized an attack was imminent, identified the vehicle and dispatched forces. The terrorists were captured. So it's a 19-second video of some supposed terrorists that Israel had captured inside their country. And we've been seeing lots of this happening over the last few days. We'll continue talking about that afterwards. So go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Okay, so this video appears to show at least 5 or 6 men, maybe more, being arrested, which looks like along the highway here inside of Israel. And like I said, we've been hearing lots of terrorist type acts happening inside of Israel. I even reported to you guys of an explosion. Somebody was carrying a bomb on themselves and blew up next to a truck inside of Tel Aviv. And then we're hearing about this. We just had reports the other day also of a truck driver that came from Jordan. Apparently, I believe he was Palestinian. And he jumped out of his truck and started executing several Israeli border guards at a checkpoint, like a crossing between Jordan and Israel. So, they're definitely seeing lots of attacks like this right now. And obviously, a lot of this has to do with the war that's going on. And then all throughout the West Bank, we're having lots of strikes happening there from the IDF. The IDF is working on the ground as well. Lots of gun battles happening over there. Israeli soldiers getting injured and killed. So it's definitely massive chaos all throughout Israel right now. And in regards to that attack on the Jordan and Israel border, we have this report from World Affairs as breaking news. King of Jordan condemns Israeli genocide in Gaza and says Jordan is ready to fight Israel if it violates the border rules of Jordan. So what was being reported was the Jordanian king was coming out and saying that if Israel starts pushing Palestinians from the West Bank over to Jordan, it could lead to a potential declaration of war. So that's kind of what he's talking about here, because the IDF is heavily working throughout the West Bank right now, trying to eliminate Hamas and complete war goals there as well. It's big information when it comes to Jordan right now. But at the same time, it's very interesting because Jordan definitely seems like they're on both sides of the conflict, because then at the same time, whenever Iran is warning about attacking Israel, they're coming out and saying they'll defend Israel. So I don't really know what Jordan is doing, but that's kind of what's being reported here. And also, after we had that attack on those Israeli border guards that were executed, I believe there was 3 of them that were shot, I believe in the head, which is what was reported at the time. This was just a couple days ago. That truck driver that got out and executed those Israeli border guards. This is what happened later in the evening after that attack took place. This is from Dr. Eli David. Today, a Jordanian truck driver murdered 3 Israelis in the Jordan or Israel border crossing. These are the celebration of the murder in Amman, capital of Jordan. There is already a Palestinian state. It's called Jordan. Okay, so Dr. Eli David is obviously a big supporter of Israel. That's why he's speaking this way. But this is video footage that came out widely all over X. The Jordanian citizens celebrating inside of the capital of Amman after this attack had taken place inside of Israel with this Jordanian citizen that got out of his truck and executed the Israeli border guard. So we'll just look at this real quick. Take a brief look here. Okay, so again, what's being reported here from multiple sources is this is inside of Jordan. Many of the citizens celebrating that attack inside of Israel. So definitely shows even more, their neighbor, Jordan. Many of the citizens there are not happy with Israel as well in regards to what's happening in the Gaza Strip. So obviously, this shows that Israel is in a very tough situation right now. And, they're basically surrounded by many of the people that are unhappy with them all over their country. So Israel's definitely getting into some deep doo-doo right now, if you know what I mean. So we're going to also move over to this article here, also from the Times of Israel, from Likud MK. War with Lebanon, a matter of days. Beirut's Dania will look like Gaza, is what he said. Okay, so this is Likud MK, Nissim Vaturi, a member of Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee, claims it is a matter of days before full-on war erupts between Israel and Lebanon. So this is him right here, the man who is speaking. And it says, Vaturi, a member of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's ruling party, tells the Khan public broadcaster that when this happens, Beirut's Dania suburb, a major Hezbollah stronghold, will look like Gaza. There is no other way. Vaturi threatens, adding that Netanyahu is of the same opinion and that this is something that will develop in the coming days. He says Netanyahu briefed military officials Sunday and told them we must end this saga. Vaturi lays out his war plan, beginning with a major preemptive strike similar to the one that largely foiled a planned major Hezbollah rocket attack on central Israel recently. Only this one would last at least 4 to 5 days, followed by a ground invasion. So this is what has been widely reported lately, is that Israel will most likely launch a major preemptive strike, probably bombarding Lebanon for several days, After that, once the bombarding is stopped, that's when we will see a ground invasion take place. So I'm not sure if this is exactly what would happen, but this is what is being reported right now. So let's go ahead and move to our next update here. We've got several more expos to go over. Excuse me, and then we'll go ahead and get you guys out of here. From Israel Defense Forces official X account, the commander of CENTCOM, General Michael Eric Correa, landed in Israel and met with the Chief of General Staff, Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi, for a situational assessment. The general's visit focuses on current threats, with an emphasis on threats from Lebanon and Iran in the northern arena. The general visited the Northern Command with the commanding officer of the Northern Command, MG Ori Gordon, and it says here, conducted a situational assessment in the command's underground operations center and received an operational briefing during which he was presented with the IDF's operational plans for Lebanon. The IDF will continue to deepen its relationship with the U.S. Armed Forces due to our commitment to strengthening regional stability and the coordination between the militaries. So this was a picture of Michael Correa, the U.S. CENTCOM commander, meeting with Herzi Halevi, the lieutenant general, the commander of the Israel Defense Forces, and they were going over a situational assessment on what's going to happen when they launch this attack onto Hezbollah. So this is expected to come soon, probably in the next days or weeks, but most likely very, very soon is what it's looking like. So also, from the Times of Israel, Gantz says military focus should shift from Gaza to Lebanon. We're late on this, okay? So even more calls from Benny Gantz saying that we need to get started on this now. We need to push into Lebanon and attack Hezbollah. So that's why I'm saying there's so many reports coming out on this right now. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it looks like this thing is going to take place sometime very soon. Now we're going to talk about Syria. I have this report from OSINT to Vendor, and it says reports so far of five killed and 15 injured as a result of tonight's Israeli airstrikes on the Scientific Studies and Research Center, which has previously been used by the Syrian army and Iranian-backed forces to produce chemical weapons, surface-to-surface and surface-to-air missiles near the city of Masyaf, I think it's Masyaf, within the Hama governorate in northwestern Syria. So what I understand yesterday is Israel is carrying out massive airstrikes all over Syria, some of the biggest airstrikes we've probably seen since the start of this war with Hamas and Hezbollah. And they were just bombing all over the place. I think even near Damascus, there was probably at least 4 or 5 cities that were struck. But this one was being widely reported, the city of Masyaf, as this was some sort of facility that could have been used to produce chemical weapons. So we've got a video here, it's just 9 seconds, but just to let you know ahead of time, there is a lot of shaking around with the camera. So if that makes you dizzy at all, maybe look away for a moment. But the person holding the camera appears to freak out, as what it sounds like is there's some sort of explosion in the background, maybe a secondary explosion or another bomb hitting nearby. So take a look. Okay, so what we're able to see is lots of debris here on the ground, probably after this strike took place. Then we heard some sort of bang in the background, which was probably either some sort of secondary explosion or maybe the IDF dropping another bomb nearby, which scared the man, which looks like he freaked out, and that's why the camera was shaking. Maybe he was running or he dropped his phone. So obviously very scary to see that, right? But major hits inside of Syria. Got a couple more reports regarding this too. I have another video showing another angle of a missile coming in. So it says from next to Israel has attacked military targets in Syria. The strikes on the town of Masyaf killed 4 people and wounded 15. Local authorities said the target of the Israeli strike on Syria could have been an Iranian research center where missiles are assembled and weapons for Hezbollah are produced. So it's obvious why Israel would have attacked this facility if they were producing missiles here and potentially chemical weapons. So I've got a 7-second video showing what appears to be an Israeli missile coming in and striking this facility right over here. So take a look at this. Okay, so we've got this video footage which clearly shows that missile coming in. Looks like a pretty heavy missile striking this facility over here. We can see a huge blast and probably a fire that broke out on this facility soon after it was hit. So major strike there inside of Israel, or inside of Syria, excuse me. And I don't know if this is that same facility that was struck from the last video that we saw, because we couldn't really tell. but we do know that multiple targets inside of Syria were hit yesterday. Okay. So, also, finally, one last report here. Also, another update from Nexta. In Syria, 5 people were killed in Israeli Air Force bombardment. Shelling hit the outskirts of the town of Masyaf in central Syria. At least 5 people have been killed and 19 others injured. So now this looks like we had more updated reports of who was hurt here. 5 people for sure killed, unfortunately. 19 people injured in the strikes, some of them in critical condition. State news agency Sanaa reported all the victims of the attack are said to be civilians. Israeli fighter jets attacked Syrian territory from Lebanese airspace. Sanaa writes, Al Jazeera notes that the Israeli Air Force probably wanted to avoid entering Syrian airspace itself, where Russian and U.S. planes fly, among others. Okay, so it looks like these attacks were taking place even from Lebanon, striking into Syria. We've got some pictures here, too, of what appears to be some fires breaking out and probably a tree line nearby. So definitely, like I said, guys, major hits inside of Syria last night. And this is more continuation of Israel's attacks on Hezbollah to prevent them from getting arms that ultimately end up flying into Israel. So I'm going to go ahead and stay updated on this as much as I possibly can. I'll probably be reporting on Israel more often again, as it appears that it looks like at any moment we could be seeing a major preemptive strike onto Lebanon soon, followed up by a potential ground invasion. And it looks like Israel is prepared to go to war with Hezbollah and most likely other Iranian-backed groups in the Middle East that will probably get involved. But that's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.